Hello there, and welcome to Wise Love So Hard. I am Dada, and this is the fourth fairy tale I write for you in my little pink book. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my pinned video and on TikTok and Instagram or on YouTube to my playlist, Wise Love So Hard, the first video that is there. And you'll know what I mean, and don't forget to send me your love stories. Today's story is titled Matilda and Gregory. Let's begin. Once upon a time, there was a young woman named Matilda who had a crush on a boy named Gregory. Gregory happened to be good friends with Sarah's boyfriend, and Sarah was Matilda's best friend. So it was not long before Matilda had to ask Sarah whether they would double date with Gregory and Sarah's boyfriend. Gregory agreed to the double date and asked for Matilda's number, and for 3 days before they met, they chatted and texted for several hours. The plan for the double date was to start with dinner and then play bowling, followed by some games at the arcade. When they met for dinner, Matilda was a nervous wreck. She really wanted this to go well. She tried to cover her nervousness with a few laughs and talking a bit more loudly than usual and a bit more quickly than she would normally do. Gregory, on the other hand, was quiet and did not say much. He even asked Matilda to order for him, which she did, and that's how she learned that Gregory did not like ketchup. After dinner, Gregory taught Matilda how to play bowling, and after that they went ahead to the arcade. It so happened that one of the Kill Zombies games had only one gun, so Gregory had the opportunity to hold Matilda and half hug her as they both held the gun and shot at zombies. When the game was over, they high-fived and their hands remained intertwined for a few seconds too long. After winning a game of air hockey against their friends, they all four went to have boba tea, and again Gregory asked Matilda to order for him. Before the date ended, Gregory took pictures of them on his phone. Then they all went home. Matilda asked Gregory for the pictures he took, but he never responded, and they never spoke after that. Of course, Matilda was mortified. She had put her pride and dignity on the line, and she was met with silence. She was not sure what had happened to make him behave like that. She thought the date had gone well. One night, the movie He's Just Not That Into You popped up, and as she watched it, she realized that Gregory was just not that into her, and that was why he had not responded to her or asked her out again on a second date. And that realization made her feel miserable. What was wrong with her? Was she ugly? Was she too needy? Was she broken in some way? Was she unworthy of love? Luckily for her, her mother walked by and saw her bawling her eyes out, and so she asked Matilda what was wrong. Matilda spilled her whole story to her mother, including how inadequate and ugly she felt at this moment. Her mother hugged her hard and held her until her tears abated. You are going to be attracted to many people as you grow older, but not all attraction turns into a happy and healthy relationship, her mother said. You cannot force someone to like you, but their not liking you has nothing to do with who you are. You are a beautiful, intelligent, ambitious, confident young woman, and this does not change based on a bad experience or someone else's opinion. Also, would you rather that Gregory pretend to like you and date you for months and then break up with you because he just didn't like you as much as you did? Imagine how much harder it would be to separate then than to stop seeing him now. In a way, I admire Gregory for at least being honest with himself. Matilda was comforted by her mother's words, and the pain of not seeing Gregory became less and less with each passing day. The end. Well, again, this is the first ending. The second ending goes as follows. Gregory asked Matilda out on a second date, and this time he'd gotten advice from his older brother on how to plan a date and leave a good impression. How the date actually went far exceeded her expectations. When Gregory arrived to pick her up, he walked up to her door and spoke to her parents, telling them where they'd be going and asking for their permission to take Matilda out. An hour later, they were at the beach. Hand in hand, the couple walked alongside the stretch of sand until they got to a small restaurant overlooking the sea. The smell of grilled fish emanated in the air and invaded Matilda's nostrils in the best possible way. It turned out that Gregory had made a reservation for them for lunch at that restaurant. It was nearing 4 p.m. when they left the restaurant, and Gregory told her that they had time before their next adventure and asked if she'd like to sunbathe in the meantime. At 5:30, Gregory held out his hand and told Matilda that it's time for a bit of adventure. He took her towards a pedalo he had rented, and they spent the next 2 hours out at sea, talking and getting to know each other. When they got back, a beach party was underway, and they danced for 2 hours straight before Gregory suggested he take her back to her place in time for her curfew. She reluctantly accepted. She did not want the date to end. Gregory walked her up to her apartment, then took both her hands in his and kissed them one after the other, all the while looking into her eyes. Matilda literally melted and hoped she wouldn't turn into a puddle right then and there at his feet. He bade her good night and promised to call her when he got home, which he did, and they spent the night talking about anything and everything. They went on many dates after that and enjoyed each other's company to the fullest. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to send me your stories so I can turn them into fairy tales like these.